Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh my God, it's a good morning, people. It's a good morning. Mm, it's a good morning. I pray that all is doing well. It is a good day today. I'm sitting here saying, God, you could have not done anything greater but allowed me to get some more sleep. But I thank God for what I've gotten thus far. Anyway, it is August the 22nd, 2025, and it's all about you on this great Friday, August the 22nd, 2025, and there's a lot of things going on. I'm praying for some people. Diane Williams out of California. We're praying for her. We're praying for Rogers, Mr. Rogers, who is in the hospital. We're praying for him. He's in ICU. We've been praying all night for him. Been praying all night for a couple of people. I have not rested until it got toward the morning, but I thank God I feel a little more rejuvenated because I followed the Lord. When he hit me with it, I said, click, click, went to sleep. When I woke up, I figured I was going to have a long night, so I paid attention to the signs, okay? I paid attention to the signs. And this time I had a good time praying because I paid attention to the signs I had to deal with earlier. So I want to encourage you today, this morning, that all of you that joined here, Jamila, Monica, Seth Crosby, Corinne, Betty, and I'm catching some of the names coming in, Beth Daniels, okay, and Sharon LaBelle. Boy, did I war for you. Venus, did I war for you, Chapman, okay. Harris, my God, did I put down some prayer for you. And Demonice, I'm telling you, it was some praying time for you and your family. It was about the family when I was praying, just for your family. So I got to get this together right here because I'm feeling God move. And so it's been a time because we're dealing with it's time to be free. Now, by the time I got why I was really in this type of battle of prayer, because whenever we're talking about freedom, and we're not just talking about a shout or getting my praise on, or I'm trying to live and be free, we're going from one level to the next, one dimension to the next, from glory to glory, from one rim to the next rim. There is a different hold that we find that the adversary has put on us or we've allowed to take place in our lives. And we're opening up different situations that God is freeing us up in that has been going on for a number of years and sometimes months. And let me share something with you, even decades. Therefore, when you're praying and people are gaining their freedom, wow, I didn't know there was such a battle that the enemy does not want us to be free. In our mindset, in our spirit, within our soul, our emotional being, of well-being, our physical being, because when you're free spiritually, when you're free mentally and within your heart and your emotions start to heal, your body heals. Oh, wow. Hey, Lorraine Adams, I got it. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to, the next time, just watch. I can't say nothing now because I don't want everybody to be ahead of me, but I just want to give you a thumbs up. And so it is indeed the freedom that God gives us. It looses us from the core. We're talking about being loosed from the core. And that makes a big difference. And I can only speak for myself that many of us are experiencing that. Even in our ministries, it's making us think. We're getting to the core of things, to the root of it. And God is setting us free. And there's a different way we're receiving, a different way we're activating things, a different way we're responding to things, and how we're handling even our situations and how we deal with everyday situations because of the freedom that we've gained and what God is showing us and how we're moving in and through him. So I want to talk about today renaming the wounded places, renaming the wounded places, renaming the wounded places. You know, there are places in your soul that still bleed when no one is watching. Can we say that? Okay, that's why we're hitting it right on. If you're ready, I pray you got your pencil, your pen, your pad, your paper, because some things God is going to speak to you. You're going to say, oh, wow, this is what's happening. We got to rename those wounded places, and this is where pain meets purpose. Listen, Pastor Seth, Apostle Seth, Bishop Seth, If I call you Seth, please don't take it with no disrespect. Work this any way you can, brother. Work it any way you can. All right. So, the bottom line is there are places in our soul where we still bleed when no one's watching. I know there's some people that understand that, all right? When no one's watching. Places you buried under titles like failure, abandonment, okay, too much, not enough. But heaven never named you by those traumas. Never has it named you by those traumas, never. The Father never labeled you by your lowest moment. Oh, God, we need to look at that, okay? We need to really look at those things. And so today we're going to talk about and we're going to walk back into those wounded places, not to relieve them, but to rename them because what you call it determines what it becomes. And what you rename it is what you reclaim. Wow. Okay. I'm just saying. People. I'm just saying. I just can't help it. So there are places that your soul have never healed because they were never renamed. But today heaven is interrupting it. He's interrupting the narrative, people. And the author of your life and the author of your story is picking up the pen again. It's about to be rewritten. It's about to be rewritten. You know, in Genesis 35, verse 18, I think it's Benoni, B-E-N-O-N-I, was changed to Benjamin. And in Isaiah 62, verse 2, verse 4 says, you shall be called by a new name. God is teaching us how to rename some areas that wounded us, and we left it at the name where the wound was at. God gave Adam the authority to name creation. Naming is a form of domination, dominion and power. You're going to rename those wounded places today. And what you name, what you frame, you empower. What you name, you frame. And what you frame, you empower. Oh, things have got to change. And what you have named, listen, and many of us have named their pain permanent. But heaven has called it preparation. Are you with me so far? Oh, God. So wounded, is something we have to watch. There's a prophetic charge that God gives us. And we have to know that this is not just some mere message that God is sending us. This is a renaming ceremony that God is opening up to us. And the wounded places of our soul are about to be renamed. And when God renames a place, he reclaims it. Can I pause and say, can we put some hallelujahs or no hashtags? Just some hashtags of praise. Come on, people, put some hashtags of praise in. Ooh. Got the right beat this time. Sharon Fritz, Terrence. That's what we got to do. Oh, boy. Woo. It's so important. So, since God is going to give us the strength to rename it, he's going to reclaim it. Oh, so for this moment, if you will, after I speak something today, I need for you to be able to say it out loud where you can. If you can't, scream it in your head. You go. That's how you do it, because you may not be able to scream it in your house or on your job or on that walk route that you're walking, but you can scream it in your car if there's nobody with you. But As a matter of fact, before we do that, let me pause just for a second. I need for you to take this time and like this page. You're going to see a thing that has a thumbs up. That's liking the page. And then I need for you to share it. Now, some of you can share and like this page. And you know I'm going to ask the producer today to see how many people are going to hit that like button and share it. Because this is a very important message that if you're sharing it and you're liking it, it's going to make the difference. But I need that like button to be hit, and then you can go ahead and share it. Come on, tubers, Facebook, share it. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, it's going in. He said, but I did it a month ago. No, every day you share it, it gives a good beat to the algorithm of it, lets them know we're here. Come on. Da-da-da-da-da. Just hit it that time. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. That's right. You'll see it says like. Hit that like. There you go. Hit that like. Hit that like. Woo-hoo. Hit that like. Thumbs up. Hit that like. Thumbs up. Okay. All right. And then share it. Share this page with people. This is going to make the difference today because you are going to say that God has given me the power to do something that was not seemingly to be possible, where my pain meets my purpose. Okay? And we're right here. Oh, God. I'm going to give you a chance to do that. And then when you're ready we're going to make the activation work for us. Thank you so much, Lorraine Adams. Thank you. When you're ready to do this, to proclaim this with me, then put ready. But I need you to share and like. Mr. Producer, please. Bing, bing. Oh, my God. Ooh. Wow. All right, 27 reactions, 7 shares. Okay, good. And how many likes? I guess that's the total for the reaction. Done, ready. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Producer. All right, we're ready. Let's get ready to say this. I'm going to say it first. You're going to say it right after me. And we're going to conclude with that to move to our next part. I am not who pain said I was. I am who God says I am. I'll say it one more time. I am not who pain said I was. I am who God says I am. That's my praise. It's done. And I put on there done. I'm saying it for me because I've done it. Oh, God. Hey. There's some wounded places at Jacob at Peniel. Wounded in wrestling, but renamed Israel Prince with God. Naomi in Ruth 1 called Mara, but restored her joy through legacy. Thomas, labeled doubter, became a bold apostle to India. Don't let your lowest moment become your lifelong label. Did you hear me? Don't let your lowest moment become your lifelong label. Oh, God. Okay, don't let that happen. Don't let it happen. You have to remember, what does heaven call this place? What does heaven call this place? He says, look, when you feel abandoned, he said, no, you've been set apart. He renamed that, relabeled it by saying, you've been set apart. When you look at it as failure, he said, no, that's a stronger foundation for you. When you look at it as betrayed, he said, branded for breakthrough. How about that? I put that thing. That's it. Do it again. That's right. What does heaven call this place of renaming? He said, look, some of you feel abandoned. He said, no, I've just been set apart. Some of you said, all I've been is a failure. No, my failure has built a stronger foundation in me. Some people say, all I've known is being betrayed. I was branded for breakthrough. I liked it, jumped up, but I would have turned over my table. So God is doing something with you. Okay? Names carry spiritual weight and identity. That's what we feel. And the enemy uses trauma to name us falsely. How many know that's right? We often live under names we didn't choose. And using name tags with words like broken, unworthy, and failure often follow us. But I dare you to take them off and replace them with I am his beloved, I am his chosen, and I'm definitely healed. And I'm walking in my healing. And I'm in the healing process. Instead of allowing that word, I'm broken, I'm unworthy, I'm a failure to stay over me all the time. And many of us, we may not realize it, but we utilize those words in different areas of our lives. Genesis 16:13, Hagar names God Elroy. I said it probably wrong, but you got what I'm saying. James 1 verse 42, James renames Simon to Peter. So that when God speaks, God doesn't just rename people, he renames places. And your soul is a territory heaven is reclaiming. Did you get that? He doesn't just rename people of God. He renames places. That's what brings me to the point where he says, your soul is a territory. And he says, heaven is reclaiming what's his, the territory of your soul. I got to give God praise. I got to pause. I got to thank him. My soul is not lost. Oh, gosh. Ooh, black cherry on it. So, wounded places, somebody just said wounded places, are often hidden behind silence or performance. You know I wanted to bring that. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. Oh, I could not help it. I couldn't help it. Could not help that. That was something that got me. Wounded places are often hidden behind silence or performance. We're able to preach our way through our wounded places, stay in silence and hide out. It's hidden behind those things. And I know if there's anybody that knows what that is or have done that, especially those of us that are in ministry or business, we went to work, worked over our wounded places, did work. If that's been you, let me start off with myself. Put a number 4 in, because that's how we manifested. We said we're going to go to work, we're going to get busy in ministry to hide the wounded places. I just put my hand up for 4. I'm trying to be more of a participant. That is something. Thank you. Thank you for saying so on point. I'm so glad to see that. Hey, Clyburn, glad you're on. And you know, as pastors and worship leaders, probably, you know, people get upset when I call them. They say to me, "You are too much." If I'm calling a worship leader or an intercessor that I know they're intercessors, I'll go right to them and I'll say, "Hey, how you doing?" They'll say, "I'm fine, man. I'm doing fine." I say, "I know the intercessor's doing fine, the worship leader's doing fine, but how's the letter before we get started?" So I use myself as a person. How's the K before Kenneth? Because the reverend, the bishop, the doctor, oh, he is doing well because he has worked it out with all of that. He does well. That's his go-to. But ask about the K before we start KE. There's a different story. Now, I want to see how many people can tell the truth about that. That one you need to put a 0 in. I'm putting up the 0 for myself. Because when you start asking about the person, that's a different story. That wounded person. Ooh, they're not hiding out. That's the one that can't hide out nowhere because you went right to the letter, to the core. So that's the person. So God doesn't avoid our wounds. He enters them. And when you have true ministry and God is using you the correct way, you're not going there just to go there. He shows you how to deal with, you don't just avoid the wounds of people, you enter them correctly so you may pray for them. I like that. We see a lot of zeros in here. That is so good. And people know I'll say it. I go, "No, how's so-and-so doing?" And they'll go, "Wow. Come on, man." I said, "I know the preacher's doing well. I know you're doing well. That person I'm not worried about." But God doesn't avoid our wounds. He enters them. Wow. And I can remember that so clearly about myself. Everyone asked about the pastor. They asked about the preacher, the prayer person, and I was able to answer correctly. That person was fine, and that person was able to maneuver and navigate through things. Then someone hit me one day with just me, and that's the day I fell to pieces. I fell to pieces. That wounded person. That one that could not hide out. They entered in and helped me to stop renaming it ministry and deal with the pain of it. I got to just move ahead like this because that's a very painful moment. And I remember banging on the floor, and I banged on the floor like this. And unfortunately, you know, you all can't tell total truth, but I can this time. I want to say it with all my heart. It was so painful, and I want to close my eyes because I don't want to cry because it's not tears of so much pain. It's the looking at it saying, "Oh God, you was a deliverer." It is that I began to say, I hate them. I hate them for what they're doing to me. I hate what they're doing. It's causing so much pain to this church. I was able to get it out, and I was beating on a floor that had nothing but concrete underneath it. I was surprised I didn't break my hand. And they stood there, and they said, "Just get it all out." Nobody. It's that place where you don't have to be strong for nobody. Ooh. You don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to pretend at all is well. And maybe you don't get it. And maybe you don't want to get it because you're not allowed. But I was so grateful that those who were around me, nobody grabbed me by the shoulders and said, it's going to be all right. They let me get it out. And it was that moment that I stepped into my destiny. Wow. It was that moment that I stepped into my destiny. It was that moment that I truly could feel the healing hand of God. It was that place that I realized that I am not what happened to me. I was what God was going to do through me. Because remember, I told you it carries a weight. I had been a part of whispers. I had been a part of all those things, and wherever you went. And I had a congregation that had to deal with everything. And why should they have to bear the blunt of any of it? That's why I tell people, you've got to hold your head up and let God heal those wounds. And you have to let him rename them to I'm healed. Oh God. All right. Saints of the living God, let's move forward. Oh my Jesus. Let's just move forward. And so, healing begins for all of us today when we allow God to touch us and to touch the pain or to touch the places we've labeled off limits. And little did I know, I had labeled that area as off limits. I took his word that he gave me, because he gave me a word. And I did what he said to do concerning the situation. Hold my peace. Don't say anything, which was I thought was going to kill me. But I then made it off limits for anybody to, meaning the Spirit of God, to even talk to me. That brought me peace. Ooh. Just give him a little tea there. He'll smile after that. Something my producer said to me today, and I said, no, you are that starting today. And I meant the words that I spoke. Not someday, but today. And so those things that we have as off limits, the moment we begin to allow him to come in, he'll touch you and touch those places that were labeled off limits And all I ask you to do is lift your hands and say, God, those things that I didn't know were off limits, I give you access to them right now. I give you access right now, total access to it. I surrender it right to you. Because I want to be healed. I want you to touch those places. I want heaven to reclaim its territory. My question for you is, what name did pain give you? Something to think about. What name did rejection whisper to you? What name did failure tattoo on your soul? Wow. Wow. Think about it. You may not have an answer today, but it's all good. But today, people, today, we rename the grave as a garden, the wound as a well, the scar as my scroll. And because the places that were broken or that broke me will become the places that birthed me. And the names that I speak today will echo into generations of my tomorrow. Oh yes, they shall be renamed. According to Luke 8, 26 through 39, the man with the legions, Jesus restored his mind and his identity. His mind and his identity, and yet healed his body. They didn't recognize him when they saw him again. Psalms 147 verse 3 says, he healed the brokenhearted. That was inwardly. He did an inward healing. Don't get me started. And since he did that healing inwardly, what do you think he's going to do for you? Oh, your wound is not your identity, people. Your wound is not your identity. It is the place where God will show his glory. There's a difference. So heaven's renaming things right now for us. It's a ceremony taking place in heaven right now, rejoicing that we're getting this teaching today, because right now you're open. You just told the Lord to come into those areas that were deemed closed, off limits, that you didn't even know of. And if they were off limits to them and you didn't recognize that they're off, you have access to it. There's a ceremony going on, and God is in the business of renaming. Take that in. And renaming is prophetic. It speaks to destiny, not history. Hello, somebody. It speaks to destiny and not history. So when God renames you, he reclaims you. So let him reclaim all of you. I want him to reclaim every wound in my life and prophetically take me into my destiny. Revelations 2 and 17, a white stone with a new name. Isaiah 43 verse 1, I have called you by name. You are mine. I am yours, God. And I am not my trauma. I want to tell us, I am not my trauma. I am not my past. I am not my failure. But I am who God says I am. I'm not that. I'm not my trauma. Or I've had some trauma, but I'm not my trauma. I'm not my past. Yes, I've had a rough past. I've done some mess in my days, but I'm not that past. And I'm not my failure. My failure has now become a stepping stone to my next place of success. But I know one thing for sure. I am who God says I am, and I'm working on that part of myself every day. Every day. So I invite you to write down the names. Write down those false names that you've carried. Tear them up or burn them symbolically, saying, this is over. I love tearing. People don't know the power of tearing stuff up. Write them down and say, I tear this up. This is no longer who I am. You know who you once were. You know who the devil keeps saying, oh, you still that person. You say, no. No, I'm not. And whatever's lingering, I'm going to keep working till that's gone too. The residue of it's going to be gone. And speak prophetically over them. You are renamed, you are restored, and you are reborn. That's what you say. Look, I am renamed what God said I am. I am restored. I'm being restored to my true identity. And guess what? I'm certainly being reborn all over again in these areas that were closed. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And then you have to make a declaration. I am no longer called broken. I'm healed. I'm no longer called forsaken. I'm favored. I am no longer called ashamed. I am anointed. I am no longer called lost. I am loved. Get up out my face. That's what you got to do, people of God. You got to make that proclamation. You got to say it. And you got to mean what you're saying. And go back in your head and play it all over again. I am not broken. I am not called broken. I am healed. I am not called forsaken. I am favored. I am not called ashamed. I am anointed. I am not called lost. I am loved. When you feel those things, say, no, I'm not. I'm loved. No, I'm not. I'm anointed. No, I'm not. I'm favored. No, I'm not. I'm healed. And you'll begin to walk it out. And it will manifest in your life. I am sharing this with you because it takes determination and discipline. And I think many of us know this. For those of you, you're just coming back into it. You're starting to get your life back in order. And some things are not working like you wanted to. And you're saying, see, it ain't working for me. The devil is a liar and all the horses he ride on. That's the truth. You got to realize when you're starting to do something, the enemy will do everything he can to discourage you from seeing the little progress or the great progress that's being made. What else would you like for God to do? Oh my God. The question is, have you been blessed today? Did this message move you in to taking action? Did it help you recall where pain or the wound was at and not cause you to relive it, but cause you to turn it over and let God come in and rename it and take you to a better place? Because you're not who that pain says you are. Did it help you to see that, oh yes, I may have a past. I'm grateful for my past and helped me to understand why I'm here in my today. But the prophetic word has spoken to my future and helped me to move into my destiny. Has it stirred your soul? Because you know heaven came to reclaim the territory of your soul. Has it helped to renew your mind and create in you a new heart, that you can feel a newness in your heart again, to feel and know like God really does care about you in areas that you had given up on? And did you realize that you were hiding out in silence and performance, and you don't have to hide out anymore? And was it good enough for you? Was this that part of you that said, I was able to be raw and nobody had to tell me, oh, that don't do that. That ain't good. Baby, no. You can say, no, this thing hurt me to my core. I got it out for a change. Now I don't have to let it stay there. And I ain't got to go after the person either. I didn't go after none of the people. To hear what I'm trying to say, I didn't go after none of the people. I didn't go tell them I hated them. I didn't do that. Once I did that, then I had this thing. I put everything that happened in the Bible. I wrote their names, put it in the Bible, put it high on the shelf, and left it there. Anybody know me? I know how to work that one real good. Put it in the Bible, high up on the shelf, and went on about my business, and God blessed me. Ooh. Ooh. This is how we get free, people. This is what causes movement. And those of us that were on the mountain, let's not forget, this is your continuation of breaking the cycle that you've been going around long enough. You've turned north. And it's about producing what God has given you to produce. It takes being around people to continue to lift you up and talk language like this, a good language like this. And those of you that wasn't on the mountain, you hung with us long enough that you're getting what flows from Aaron's beard. That must be Diane Rose. Won't he do it? Oh my gosh. Come on, somebody. That's that Pearman Rouse. Come on, somebody. Oh, that's a place of letting it all out. Yeah. Yes. So God is really doing something for us right now. I was giving them things as I was speaking to you, saying, take this, God, take that. You don't even have to rename it. You can just take it away. But he's renaming the spot that was wounded with healing. You are who God said you are. And there's a place in me that I've been asking God to continuously work with it. Because it comes to you, you're like, how am I going to do this, Lord? How am I going to do that? You say, I'm leaving it in your hands. And you wake up the next day, you say, how am I going to, and you have to say, I'm leaving it in his hands. That's the answer. I'm leaving it in his hands. Not that you're not, because when you leave it in his hands, you're open for his direction. You're not sitting there saying, I'm leaving it in his hand, and you say, how do you want me to handle it? See, I changed it from, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I said, how do you want me to handle it? No, how do you want me to handle it? So I want to make sure that I'm listening for his instructions. You got to know how to, the enemy is trying to work us over. But guess what? The Lord is blessing us with our spiritual ears to hear what the Spirit of the Lord is saying to the living church. And that's us. That's us. I'm grateful. I'm grateful to not just be a visitor, but a dweller. Oh my God, I'm telling you, this is it. Let's see what Corinne is saying. God fills us with his love and wounded places. That is so true. Healing when we surrender. That's so true. He heals us with his love in those wounded places. And it comes as we're surrendering to him. Oh my goodness, look over here. True understanding of why pain is a part of the journey. That is so true. When God renames you, he reclaims you. I'm not my past or trauma. Write down those things. Okay, Sharon Lavelle, you got it. So there are things that I'm not broken. That's right. We have to keep saying that to ourselves because we come from different areas in our lives, different cultural experiences, and there are things that try to hold us hostage in those arenas. We can't allow it to happen. Thank you, Adams. This is good today. We come from different arenas of life, and we have to work through those circles and situations. We do. We do. We do. We do. We do. Oh my God. We do. And I want it to be where you all can work through them. So today, as I ask again, for everyone that would sow, won't you sow? And I believe God for it because I know what God is saying. As I prayed through these last 2 mornings, they're nights, mornings, they're at night, but it's the morning season, all the way through those hours. Those are endless hours to me. That's time. And I believe God for doing the work for you as well as for myself, but for you, and give it everything I have, non-stop. Non-stop. You know, people say to me, I don't believe you can pray that long, until someone met me one day. They said, oh my God. And then they tried it. They tried it as a, what did they tell me? As they were trying it to see if it could be done. And they said, oh wow, it's really true. I said, yeah. You can pray a long time. And I prayed long hours. Again, I learned that from being in the prayer tower. But long hours, and Glenda Weems taught me long hours. So you pray these long hours. You put in your prayer time. I know what it is though to travail. To travail for many of you in prayer. Because it's not that you couldn't do it for yourself, but to add on to what you're praying for, to be another hand holding up your arms, coming into agreement with you, standing in agreement. Some of you would have just fell back and just be able to stand and hold you up before the people. Because when people see you standing, they say, oh my God, they're still standing. God has people that will stand behind you, not to be seen. They don't even look like, they won't even move their head 1 ounce from behind your head. They're locked right behind you because they want you to stand. Because your assignment requires you to be able to stand. Even in your family. You know, I'm praying for Prophetess Green. You know, she has to do the eulogy for her family member come tomorrow. I prayed for her. You know, there's some things that are going on with people. You know, I prayed for Sister Dingle who lost her nephew. After she lost her brother, she lost her nephew. I'm praying for her. It's a lot of things happening that's going forth. And I'm believing God to do just that. Move. Move. I got some other I call them big ticket items that is in my assignment that I've got to pray through because the enemy is busy. But God is busier. So when I ask you to share in your giving, that we can make sure we get something done, I'm asking because, yes, we need your support. We do. And that's how I can say it. And I need everyone's support. Not just 1 or 5. If it's 150 people on here, I need all 150 people's support. I do. And that's being raw and honest to say so that we can get the work done. I want to be able to go southward knowing that there's nothing else to do but just go. There's some things that are about to happen. And I want you to get ready. And then those of you that are in Birmingham, get ready for that shift. That shift conference is going to be in Birmingham. I think it's the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Right there in Birmingham, hosted by Apostle Stephen Davis. All I can tell you is that the Lord just told me it's going to be one of those moves that's going to shape the area that they're in. Now, I haven't been in a while, but I'm letting you know there's something that's happening, and I'm always obedient to what God says. There's something going on. It's still up in the northern region, upstate New York, all out that way by that Vermont area. There's still revival going on. Pamela Bolt and them, they're still in that revival piece. I wouldn't care if it went down to this where it doesn't have the tent, but it's still some revival taking place, and the pockets are still burning. There's some things that are happening. There's something that's happening right here in this broadcast. That's why I'm asking you to be very supportive. There's some things that we need to really do. Yes. And as we're pulling things together at this point, all I ask you to do is work with me. So I need your support. Everybody's $10. They're $20, they're $50, some more. I remember what the Lord said yesterday. Somebody's going to do something, large, beyond their ordinary. And I still believe him. I don't give up because he said it. I hold to it. Please allow God to use you to be a blessing to this ministry. Those of you that are tithers, haven't tithed anywhere, and you're saying, I don't know where to tithe at. This is a good place you can. You'll see the harvest immediately. I want to encourage you. That's all. I want to encourage you. And as you sow, you will reap the benefits. Because I'm always praying for those that sow and give and support this ministry. I do. Because I know that when people give, they're giving from their heart. And I love for God to bless people for their giving. Especially when they give and they've taken care of their home churches. I thank you for that. So I'm grateful, and I ask that you do as you follow what's at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for sowing and believing in this ministry. Thank you for believing in me and allowing me to share what God has given to me, to you. And one thing for sure, I'm going to give you all that God gives me to give to you. And make sure you get across to the other side. That's how I've always been, and I shall continually forever be. I want you to have a blessed day today. I won't be back on until Sunday morning, back here for a Spiritual Warriors table. But I want you to make sure you promise me that you're going to enjoy this weekend. Enjoy it. Do something nice for yourself. And when I come back on Sunday, tell me that you did something nice today and Saturday, that you did something for yourself. All right? Now, Saturday is the producer's birthday. He probably thought I forgot. He's going to be 190 years old. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to laugh. That's my laughter. But if you can, before you leave the broadcast, won't you put some happy birthday hearts up for him? Because his birthday is tomorrow. And he's been a wonderful, wonderful producer. But he's a young man, and God has his hands on his life. And he's going to be all that God has promised him to be, because he has a heart to want to do so. All right. Happy birthday to Leonard. So you all can wish him a happy birthday. And I want to thank you for sowing. Wash your face, brush your teeth, rinse your mouth out now, and comb your hair all the way out. Maybe you can wear your holiday hair this weekend. You've been trying to wear it for the longest. Maybe you put it on this weekend. Mr. Apostle Crosby, I want you to enjoy your weekend. Do something very special for you and your wife. I pray if he's still on here, he does that. Do it for you and your wife. Just enjoy it. I just feel to say that to you. Do something very nice for you and your wife and enjoy it. She deserves it. You deserve it. Just enjoy it. I look forward to hearing from everybody and seeing you on Sunday right back here for a Spiritual Warriors Table. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sowing. See you back here Sunday. Bye for now.